Everyone loves numbers and rankings. Surely there will be no overreactions, right, Rucker?
Right, always.
Always. But that means it's big board time. No Ceilings Big Board version 2 up now over at NoCeilingsNBA.com. We're going to break it down for you next. Welcome to another episode of the No Ceilings Podcast. I'm Tyler Metcalf, joined as always by Tyler Rucker. Rucker, how are we doing?
Metcalf, I'm doing fantastic. Another big board out. Another time we get to break this down for the draft maniacs, the basketball hoop fanatics out there. It's a great time of the year, baby. How are you doing?
Hanging in there. It feels weird that we missed last week. Holidays and family obligations just got in the way. Couldn't pull it off. Apologies, but we're back this week, and we got another big board to revisit. In the last 2 weeks since we've been with you, so much stuff up on the site over at NoCeilingsNBA.com. I've got a couple scouting files with my weekly scouting notes up there. I also have an in-person scouting notes either up now or in the next day or so from Indiana versus Minnesota. Rowan was at UCLA versus Washington. Got a great look at Hans Steinbeck. Make sure to go check all that out. Teams working hard as always. Really fun stuff over at NoCeilingsNBA.com, No Ceilings YouTube, all that good stuff. We got Green Room later on this episode, but we're running through version 2.0 of the No Ceilings Big Board for the 2026 NBA Draft. It's a chock full episode. We're going to go five spots at a time through the first 30, then 10 after that. Let's not waste any time. Let's just dive right into it. At number one, it'd probably be helpful if I shared the screen so the viewers on YouTube could follow along. At number one, Cameron Boozer. Number two, Darren Peterson. Number three, AJ DeBonsa. Number four, Caleb Wilson. Number five, Michael Brown Jr. Where do you want to start?
I was pretty chalk. And honestly, for me, I thought this was pretty like, okay, I get it. I know there's going to be a lot of people out there that are like, Boozer at one still. Are you kidding me? Well, this is why we do this, folks, because I threw in a fun little addition to the big board if you haven't checked it out on the site. And I thought this was important. I threw our average ranking so people could see the gap or the difference or how close it is, because sometimes it's unbelievable how close these get. So, Boozer had an average ranking of 1.54 and Darren was at 1.62. That gets as close as possible. And I think Metcalf is always important. And what I try to, throw in the intro sometimes, or whoever writes the intro, is to remind people like, hey, the first couple installments are always a little like we're getting familiar. Everybody is. I think version 3 is the big one. 3 and 4 I always see are the big ones because it's movement time. It's when people are really getting caught up on film. So you're going to see some big names that made some big jumps in this one, and that's loud. It's very loud this time of year. But I think the next couple, we've had it previous years at No Ceilings. I think Johnny Davis was a big leaper, or sweet Johnny. Keegan Murray, I think first edition might have been like second round pick. Then all of a sudden he just skyrocketed. Every single cycle there's a name. Bub Carrington. Guys just really jump up in a hurry.
Yeah, and I wasn't totally shocked that Cam was at one just because I know how a lot of you guys think about him. I'm very high on him as well, but I thought, man, maybe he might drop to two. But Darren hasn't played in a couple weeks now, nursing that hamstring injury, having issues. But apparently he's day to day. Hopefully he gets back soon. I would kind of guess he's back in one of those tune-up games before conference play really gets underway for them. The AJ ranking I thought was really interesting because I did bump him up to two when these rankings were submitted. Currently I have Cam at two. It's a day by day thing for me. I'm really struggling with those two. But since I had him at two, and you see that average ranking of 3, that means someone else had him at 4. I'm not going to out them, but No Ceilings Plus subscribers can go figure that out. And the rest of this felt pretty chalk. And Caleb 4.08, Michael still sitting at 5. I think this is it. be pretty surprising to me if this top 5 doesn't stay like this for the remainder of the year, more or less. Some movement here or there, maybe, or one of these guys falls out. But I would be pretty surprised if there's any drastic movement going forward.
Yeah, it was a question I was just going to throw at you, but I guess we can wait a little bit till the next 5. I was going to say, is there anyone that you could see jumping into this top 5? But I think it's going to be really tough to get up there. So go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was trying to look at my board, and I don't. I just think the upside in current production, and pedigree of these guys at the top that we currently have up there, I think it's just kind of too much to overcome for a lot of these other guys, unless they go on just an absolute tear. These last 5 months.
Where are you at with Metcalf?
Um,
Yeah, I'm right there. I get it.
um,
That's the right pause. I have the same thing. I'm like,
I still have him at 5. Like I'm not.
yeah.
I'm not in any hurry to move off of that. I still think he's the best guard or point guard prospect.
Point guard. Yes. Point guard. You said it right.
Because Mr. Darren Peterson, not a point
He's a
guard.
2. He's a combo
Um,
guard.
but I still think Michael is still pretty comfortably the best point guard prospect, given his ability to play on or off ball. Some of the defensive stuff, I wish was a little more consistent. I think the rim pressure stuff is starting to look a little better. He had an awesome poster against Arkansas.
Yes.
That is like, oh, God, finally, I've been waiting for one of those from you. But the shooting's just been super inconsistent, which we kind of knew and has consistently been the case, especially like just going back to FIBA. Like one game he would be lights out from 3, the next he would be 1 of 10. So that's not totally uncommon with him, but I wonder how much of that is just his individual shooting variance and how much of that is just him kind of still adjusting to his recent growth spurt.
Yeah, I think right now I'm not too worried about percentages because I also think situation at Louisville, like they need him to get shots up. They need him to score a lot of points. So I'm gonna be patient with Mikhail because, like you said, you get a little bit of like, okay, which one are you getting today? Are you getting the inefficient but still impactful point guard, or are you getting the, oh my gosh, like run for your lives, you just can't miss? So I'm gonna wait and see. Conference play, as everyone should know, we're getting to the juice. We're getting to the meat of draft season. The conference play starts, and things really start getting serious when it comes to like, okay, they're taking their game up to another level, or this is legit. So, yeah, just curious.
Okay, let's move on to 6 through 10. At 6, Nate Ament. At 7, Koa Pete. 8, Bennett Sturts. 9, LeBaron Philon. 10, Jaden Quaintance. Thoughts?
I nicknamed this stretch Death Row. No, there's a lot of spice here. There's a lot of names I think could go aggressively in different directions in the upcoming months. Where do you want to start?
Let's start with these two guys.
Okay.
Amen and Pete. Because they might be two of the most polarizing guys in this draft class. Amen. Let's stick with Amen. And the raw numbers continue to be really good, but they also all almost exclusively come from the free throw line. And all of the shot creation struggles that we were worried about coming into the year and that we mentioned in the preseason stuff, they're all showing up immediately and frequently in college. So I don't know what to do with him because I love that he gets to the free throw line a lot. I love that he apparently added 15 to 20 pounds of muscle. But he never plays like he's using it. It still plays like that skinny high school kid. He never creates an advantage. He never establishes himself. He never imposes himself. And just like the passing frequency is a lot slower. The processing speed feels a lot slower than it should be. I'm really struggling with him.
Yeah, I'm at DEFCON 3 with Nate Ament right now. I'm trying to. I root for. We always say this. We root for every prospect. It's always what we do. We want every single prospect to be successful enough to have a real lengthy career and a lot of success at the next level. I get terrified when guys aren't ready and they make that leap and have unrealistic expectations out of the gate. And Nate just has a lot of red flags for me right now. Now, I'm the first one to say always, like, I hope I'm wrong, but there's a lot of stuff where I'm like, hey, the free throw is great. Everyone's going to lean on, like, oh, he's getting the line a bunch. Great. There's also 6'10" that's struggling to finish, struggling to shoot, struggling to, get by people. Those are loud concerns. So it's going to get a lot tougher, Metcalf. I mean, they got Arkansas on the road, Texas at
Yeah.
home, Florida on the road, A&M at home, Kentucky at home, Alabama on the road. Welcome to the SEC. So we're going to find out really quick about Nate Man. I talked about him when I saw him at Players Era, the physical transformation, fantastic. It's just my joke's always, the Moneyball reference of, if he's a good shooter, why can't he shoot? My spin on it with basketball. So Nate's been the sales pitch of a great shooter. And I'm like, I've seen him miss a lot of open shots, a lot of open looks. I just have a lot of questions, but I'm always extremely patient with guys like this. And I people could look it up. I said in the beginning of the year, this one's going to be tough for me. I got to be patient.
And I still buy him as a long-term shooter because we have the track record through high school, and my optimistic view that I'm really holding firm to, at least as a spot-up guy, is that it's like, all right, well, he's 15 to 20 pounds of muscle stronger. So he's still trying to figure out his ranges and all that kind of stuff with the shot, and he's just not comfortable. But then you look at some of the mechanics stuff, and it feels like he's like leaning in and out of his shot a lot, and he's just not on balance like he used to be. It's just really, really funky, and I wish he would make it easier for us. I hate the argument of, oh well, he can just turn over and shoot over guys. It's like, well, now he can. Next level, that's gonna be a lot more difficult. And if he can't create any sort of advantage now, it's gonna be a lot more difficult at the next level. So I get the idea. I love the idea. I need to see a little bit of it actually put into practice.
Completely agree.
Sturts, Phylon, Quaintance, any takeaways on these guys?
Sturts coming off a bad game against Michigan State, which I was, I think kind of what we're expecting because it's Michigan State. And if you watch that Iowa team this year, you know that there's a clear target. There's a clear scouting report emphasis. I was a little shocked he was at 8.
Felt a little high for me.
Felt a little bit of a big aggressive jump, but I mean, he was 11th in volume 1. So I was just like, wow, up to 8. Okay. Yeah. But that's why I think he was tied with Phylon. I think they both have it in average ranking. So, we have some weird formula there that gave Sturts the nod, but yeah, I don't know. It's just tough because I know people, obviously we put out the big board and then he has the bad game and everyone's like, this is terrible. And it's like, okay, if he had
Spoiler,
35,
folks,
people would be like, he's too low.
Like 5 days before that.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
There's some editing stuff that has to go on behind the scenes. But Sturts was bad in the Michigan State game. Like he was not good by any means.
Right.
I have a bunch of clips, hopefully going to be able to do a film school on it. Up on YouTube, and hopefully in the next couple days, we'll see what life allows me to do though. But when you watch the game, it's obvious what the issues were, and that was Michigan State daring literally anyone else on that team to do anything, to create a shot for themselves, for others to make a shot. Because anytime Sturts tried to drive, some of the most aggressive gap coverage you'll ever see, where they're immediately cutting off stuff with help defenders who are over helping, taking away the drive, stuff on the pick and roll. They're blitzing him. They're forcing the ball out of his hands. They're loading up on defense against him. Now, he has some really bad misses from outside. A couple on-ball defense possessions where he got torched that didn't look great, but the overall process still felt solid. And it was just one of the most clear defensive game plans that you'll see of Michigan State being like, I don't care if we lose, it's not going to be because you go off. And he's going to face that all year in the Big Ten. And my worry is that we're going to see a similar result because I don't think so far, I have been pretty underwhelmed with a lot of the other pieces on Iowa.
Every scout every assistant coach that has a scout this year for upcoming teams is licking their chops to do Iowa, like to prepare for Iowa, because they're like, oh, this one's easy. Get rid of Sturts. Like, we got to make somebody else beat us. I was gonna have to figure it out, and I'm with you. It could get ugly. It could get really ugly, and it doesn't help that he's gonna be 22, 23-year-old rookie. So can Sturts play? Yes. Is he talented enough to really be a nice piece at the NBA level? Absolutely. But this could be a rough awakening just because of like what he's going to get thrown at him, and teams are going to dare Iowa to beat him and in a different way.
Lastly on this group, Jay Quaintance, I was kind of surprised was still in this range, and also went up 2 spots. I'm guessing that's more of a symptom of people dropping other guys, but still haven't seen him on the court, which starting to get a little concerned, given the injury and the historical timeline that injury has come with. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I think digging around, you kind of get the like, all right, hopefully it's time soon, but
like no timeline at all.
It's
not ideal.
Let's move on. I'm not going to go down that one because I don't want to spread fake stuff. So I'm not going to go down that one.
No, we're not reporting anything.
No, we're not until we do more check-ins.
Just feels odd,
quiet.
Okay, let's move on to 11 through 15. At 11, Braylon Mullins from UConn. Sorry, I should probably be throwing these teams out. Guard from UConn. 12, Tunde Yesifu, guard from Baylor. At 13, Chris Senek Jr., forward center from Houston. At 14, Isaiah Evans, guard wing from Duke. At 15, Yaxa Lendeberg, forward from Michigan.
Hit me. What are you feeling?
Little surprised Tunde still has as many believers as he does, but then, you kind of look at the average ranking of 16.5. It's like, okay, well, this is where stuff starts to get a little more polarizing.
Yeah, you start to see the gaps. That's why I was like, oh, this will be fun for fans to see. Is you might be like, well, wow, he's there. And then you look at the gap and you're like, oh, there's a little bit of room, or there's a drop. And I think also that could tell you when you see a big gap, it's like, well, there's people that believe, but it might be that they don't believe in other guys more. It's almost like that. So Tunde's going to be another one. Rough. I just went off on native man. I love Tunde coming into the year. And right now there's some stuff. He just had a big game, but it was, a game he needed to have a big game. I think it was a weaker competition. Sorry, I don't have the team in front of me right now, but I don't know. That one's tough.
Yeah, and he's not shooting it well. The decision making hasn't been great. The at rim finishing has been rough. And I'm in this boat, but it feels like some of us are still kind of grasping to like the last few straws of how impressive his Hoop Summit week was, and just begging for that version of him to come back. And so far, we haven't even gotten close to that version of him.
He previously had 3 straight games or he had a game and then 2 in Players Era Festival where he shot less than 30% from the field. Last night, as we're recording this, on Wednesday. Sorry, guys, I don't know week or days anymore. But against Sacramento State, he had 27, 6, and 4 steals and couldn't miss. So great game for him. But yeah, seems like we're kind of really latching on to some previous stuff. And that's why it's like, okay, we need to see a little bit of a bounce back stretch of games here. Another guy I'm fascinated to see when conference plays cooking, because Big 12 is going to be a lot. What a year for the Big 12.
I do want to say I've been encouraged with his defense.
Yes.
On ball has been a lot better. Screen navigation is a disaster, but like the isolation on ball primary defense has been so much better. And he's been really good, at least as like a disruptor off ball. Like not the most consistent, but good jumping passing lanes, using his athleticism to get deflections and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's taken a huge leap from high school, which is really encouraging.
Let's just stay with Tunde for a sec. Everything I've been encouraged by stuff I wasn't expecting, and I've been disappointed by areas I was like, wait, what? Like at Players Era, I was like, is the finishing really going to be a big deal here? Like, I was just kind of shocked watching. I was like, he really is struggling to figure it out. And I think I even maybe I texted you or something after I saw him at Formula Zero, but I was like, he's got some weird finishing stuff going on. Like it was almost like he was trying to do too much, or like couldn't really feel out like when was the right time to do a reverse. Or I was like, you look at him and you're like, this big body athlete, you wouldn't think it. And sometimes it was like trying too much to like finish with power, like just barreling into people. And it's like, you're not 6'8", you're 6'4", 6'5". You can't do that. And now at Players Era, just seeing it in person, I was like, he's got some weird, I don't know if it's overthinking or just like he just needs more reps at it. But it's something I'm watching moving forward. And then you get home and you look at, pop up synergy and you're like, oh, I'm not crazy. Like this is a trend. So I've been encouraged with a lot of stuff, like the defense. You're right on, like the on ball stuff. There's stuff there. Like there's talent there. Yeah. There's upside. Just might be a one that takes a little bit of time that we just need to be patient with.
It's always really nice when you're like, man, does this guy kind of suck at this stuff? And then you check the numbers and it checks out. Equally as awful.
Equally as bad. When you think something and you go home and they're like, I'm an idiot.
Yeah, where it's like you catch one game of a guy for the first time and you're like, he can't shoot at all. And then you pull up his stats on the year and he's like 47% from three. You're like, oh, I'm an idiot.
Anytime that happens, I'm like, so we need to start sleeping more. We need to get more rest. We need to kind of take a step back. So it'll happen.
Chris Senek still feels super raw, but I'm enjoying how hard he's trying to play. And it feels like I think it's going to click and things are really going to swing upwards in the next month or so. It wouldn't surprise me if like mid-January he really starts to turn things on. And then Isaiah Evans, I love this dude. Weirdly inefficient shooting so far. And he's been on kind of a cold streak despite hitting a game winner against Florida. And I think he was like 1 of 10 from three that game, but just a really, really fun off-ball shooter.
I got him at 10. I got a lot of people that told me I was insane, which I should put on the record. When you tell me that, I take that as a compliment. So I have him at 10. I have him at 10 even with like that game. There's a lot of growth with his game. He's not just a sharpshooter anymore.
No, the defense looks so much better.
Mm-hmm. And there's some stuff where he made some mistakes in that Florida game, and I thought there was some good bounce back. There was I think he had 5 blocks. There's some fantastic rotations and help, and there's just stuff that's coming together. And I know he's not shooting it well, but it's like, you really think I'm going to take a bet against Isaiah Evans not being able to figure out the shot? He did take one of the worst shots I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, yeah.
The corner Boozer 3. So he was going corner. He was fade into the corner, boozing through a bullet, and he caught it and shot it. And I was like, when he shot it, I was like, how did you shoot that? Why did you shoot that? It was just like, what? And you hear the whole crowd like, whoa, like the moment he shot it.
And his answer is, I'm Isaiah Evans. Why wouldn't I shoot that?
But it was like he didn't even have his feet on the ground, and he somehow shot a fadeaway. It was the weirdest thing. I was just like, how did you get that shot off? So, but that's Isaiah Evans. He's got that green light. It's the greenest.
Well, and the fact that he was, I think, 0 of 9 going into that final shot, and Shire is still like, no, we're going to run a play for you.
Which is awesome.
To get a shot is like, yeah, that should tell you what type of shooter Isaiah Evans is. Yeah, because his 35% from three is not the same as most people's. I was a little surprised that Yaxel hit.
Are 15. You?
I am. Hey, he's playing awesome. It's not a testament to his play, but it's like, all right, well, he's going to be a 24-year-old rookie. I would be floored if he went this high on draft night. I would be absolutely shocked. Not saying he won't return this type of value. He's playing out of his mind. He's playing the best basketball on the best team in the country right now. And he's really fitting into that role as more of a play finisher and connective passer. rather than an offensive hub, which is, not what he's going to be in the NBA. So he's executing what is most likely NBA role at a really high level right now. It's not I'm not trying to denigrate his play or how good he has been. Just the age and, the ultimate upside with him kind of surprised me.
This is a little overreaction, but it's also something I'm just watching. And right now I'm like, why am I overthinking this? There's 2 upperclassmen, and one of them's actually right behind Yoxel. So this is perfect timing. Thomas Houck is at 16. I'll just spoil that for anyone that's not watching. Yeah. I watch those 2 guys and I go, this is my battle every year. I go, they're not going to get drafted high, but I watch them and they're 2 of the best guys right now.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying the whole class. I'm just saying they're 2 of the most valuable pieces, most valuable potential rookies for a team. I know they're older. You can argue like, hey, upside. What if your upside is just being a damn good player for a really long time? And I think that's where I always battle with people when they're like upperclassmen. I'm like, why? Because now they know what they are and they know how they can impact the game. And they're not this false identity of, I'm going to be the superstar right out of the gate. No, they've worked on their game. They've been humbled a little bit. They might still have a little chip on their shoulder, but they're also like, I know how I can make an impact on the floor. Thomas Houck and Lindenberg have been fantastic this year. Houck in the Duke game was unbelievable. I talked to you off the air. I was like, I watched that game for Boozer and the Duke guys, and I left going, Thomas Houck, man, is rolling right now. And I just think those guys play with a little edge, and they're tough. They got good size. So I understand, hey, they probably will get drafted a little later. I always say I don't know if I agree with that philosophy, because I do think, hey, if I was picking 13 and I got a Yoxel Lindenberg that plays 12 years in the NBA, is that a bad pick? No, I think that's a home run. I think that's a great pick. Or if I swing for the fences because I'm like, well, we're in the lottery, might not have a job. So I just think those guys need more respect. But I get it. I understand your hesitation.
No, I again, it's not
right.
on him as a player. It's more so it's like I am surprised he's this high this early in the year when people are still holding to expectations with freshmen
in a big class. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Whereas, like, if this was like our final big board and he ended up here, where after got some freshmen withdraw or just had really rough seasons or stuff like that, then it'd be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And at some point, you just have to be like, all right, is he a good basketball player or not? And
that's a good point.
He very clearly is. And it's going to be really interesting. I'm really curious with all the second apron stuff and the limited roster building capabilities of teams. Do they start to look at older guys who are getting into their prime much quicker and on much cheaper contracts a little earlier in the draft? And that's where guys like Lindenberg and Houck come into play a little more.
That's my biggest thing. Is I think there's going to be a shift. I think there's going to be a shift eventually, because I think it's going to take 1 or 2 teams that are 1 year is just going to be like, we're taking this junior at 12. We love him, and he's going to like, because I'm also a big believer of like, hey, you get drafted, even if you're 22, 23, you're not the best basketball player you're ever going to be. You're going to get to the NBA and figure out that you can do something else to unlock your game. Maybe it's like, hey, I really can do stuff defensively that I never really realized before. So like, I just think these 2 guys, 6'9", with size, with toughness, with versatility. I just it's gonna be an interesting thing. But I like that point you just said. I think with the CBA and stuff, there's gonna be a year where it's finally a team's like, we're gonna take a guy that's gonna help us quicker instead of waiting around, because we need early contributors.
All right. Let's go on to 16 through 20. At 16, Thomas Houck, spoiled. 17, Neo Avdalas, guard, forward, wing, whatever you want to classify him as, from Virginia Tech. Thomas Houck from Florida. At 18, Dame Sarr from Duke. 19, Hans Steinbeck, center from Washington. 20, Kingston Flemings, point guard, Houston. Where do you want to go?
Want to talk about Neo?
Yeah, let's.
What are you thinking?
Cooling a little bit. Gets paint touches constantly, but never really seems to get to the rim. I think the other day, this may have been a game or two ago, so the numbers may have shifted a little bit, but I believe he was in the first percentile in that rim shot frequency, which is not something you want from your 6'9" wing. Um, I think the playmaking looks really good. Defense kind of comes and goes. I still think the shot looks good. Low concerning how passive he is and how eager he is to get off the ball when he gets into the paint. And he just never looks to actually get to the rim, to initiate contact, to draw fouls. And he never consistently imposes himself on the game and takes control. So cooling a little bit on him, but his game is also reminding me a lot of Keyshawn George at Miami his freshman year. So I think there are a lot of similarities there, not one for one, but stylistically, I think there's a lot of overlap.
We did the ground floor with Field of 68 pod. Corey made a great thing of like, hey, this is what Neo's been. He's been the, oh my gosh, did you just see his game? Followed by a, all right, I'm waiting for what happened to that one. Like, what we need a little bit more. It's just been the up and down. I need to get caught up on everything. So the big thing with Neo was like after he had 33 against Providence, everyone was going nuts. He had 33, 5, and 6. I should say that. Everyone was going nuts, like, oh my gosh, top 10, top 5. We even did a pod. I think we were putting up there. We're all drunk in love.
Yeah.
And I looked at Virginia's Tech schedule and I was like, okay, Neo's got a shot to really make some noise because it was very favorable. I was like, he could put up some video game numbers for a couple months here. And now we are 7 games later after that, if I do my math right. He's averaging 11, 3, and 4 on 42, 30, 70, which is fine. It's just, they've only lost 2 games in that stretch, so they're winning. But I just kind of was, like, man, because look, he's got they've got George Mason, Western Carolina, Maryland, Eastern Shore, Elon. Like, okay, Neo, you need to roll a little bit one of those games.
I need a couple 30 bombs from you.
Yeah, you need to you need to have one of those games again, because then you're going to start it's going to be January before he starts getting some real competition. And then you're not getting to like the Syracuse, Louisville, Georgia Tech, Duke is not going to be till end of January. So the big one's going to be probably, Wake Forest, January 3rd. It is going to be a very loud, like, hey, let's see what you got, Neo. But cooling a little bit. I think he's just going to keep being a puzzling one because you see the upside and you're like, my goodness. But I just need a little bit more.
Yeah. Damisar starting to cool on a little bit. He just goes invisible way too much. Hans Steinbeck just had a massive game against UCLA. Haven't dove into it yet, but excited to check out Rowan's in-person scouting notes on NoCeilingsNBA.com. Got super lucky in the perks of going in person.
So jealous of Rowan. Shout out Rowan. I'm so jealous. I found out he's going to the game and Steinbeck goes 11 for 12 from the field and 29 and 10. I was like, you jerk. None of us get that lucky. So it's awesome.
With Tucker DeVries against Minnesota. We'll get to that later. Let's talk Kingston Flemings. Why is he only at 20? I get that he was unranked before, so maybe, is it just some people being like, all right, I'm going to move him up steadily, but I don't want to be too overreactive?
Yes, because that is one of my favorite things that the whole team at No Ceilings doesn't do is a guy has a good couple games and people are like, top 6. I think everyone's really like, nope, let me get caught up on my film. Let me watch more. But 20 also like, come on, guys, come on. Where do you have him, Metcalf?
I have him at 8.
All right. I got him at 7. I'm in love. I'm in love.
So he's not going to shoot 52.4% from 3 all year.
No.
How much is that going to tail off? And when it does,
he'll be in the 40s. He'll be good 40s. He'll probably be like 42, 43-ish. He's not he doesn't force and it seems like when he needs to create, he gets a big enough window. Like he's just really smart about being able to get his shot and knowing how to set you up. And in person, I was just like, the composure for this kid as a freshman guard, like the Tennessee game, they were all looking at him like, you got to save us, because no one could get anything to go.
Yeah.
And he was like, fine, give me the ball. There was a couple times he's like, get away from me. I got this. And he just boom, 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 step back.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing but net. You're like, oh gosh. So look, he had a couple games there too where it was not the best shooting performances, but like he's making an impact when he's not hitting some shots. Like he's making an impact. You feel him still. So I'm very, very impressed with him. I think legit could give Michael a little run. That's my hot take.
Ooh, spicy.
Yeah. He just rocks, Metcalf. He
does.
He's kid's got it.
Where are you at with the defense?
It's not something that I'm like, oh my gosh, he's at the right place. It's not like, oh, he's going to be played off. I'm sorry, this is going to hurt you. It's not Rob Dillingham.
Rob's fighting. Okay, he's on
no,
the
but you know what I'm
verge.
saying? As a prospect, we're like, what about Rob defensively? Kingston battles. I think he puts himself in good position. He moves, and he's big. My other hot take is I don't know if he's 6'4". I think he might be a little taller.
Okay.
He's kid's good. I mean, I was like, wow, walking away from those games. I was like, my goodness. And I watched a couple games before, and I was like, this kid rocks. And then I was like, oh man, those are the fun ones when you like the film and you go see him in person and you walk away. You feel like you're like, I need to go party or do something exciting. Well, do you feel the same?
Yeah, no, I love his game, and I specifically on the offensive end, where just his feel for the moment is shockingly high.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, all right, team needs me to take over because no one else can get something going. Cool, I'll do it. Whether it's constantly getting paint touches and getting stuff for myself or creating for others, or it's like, you might not have it tonight, but looks like Milos is scorching hot. Let me pivot more to an off-ball role and a connector in transition, or attacking closeouts or running second side stuff occasionally, but it's not my night, so it's my turn to take a step back and do more of the little things. That's a really encouraging level of like self-awareness and game recognition and situational awareness for an 18-year-old freshman.
And then we'll move on. But last thing is December 20th, folks, Houston at Arkansas. Buckle up. That's a Saturday. I might have to jump on a reaction pod for that one.
Woo. Well, if only we did the night shift,
Well, it's at 1:30. Even better. Or 3:30 my time.
There we go.
Great.
It might be the day shift.
Might be the day shift.
Okay, at 21, we have Malik Thomas, guard from Arkansas. 22, Darius Acuff, guard from Arkansas. 23, Pat Ngongba. Let me restart that.
Okay, sorry.
23, Pat Ngongba, center from Duke. 24, Christian Anderson, guard from Texas Tech. 25, Kareem Lopez, forward wing from New Zealand Breakers.
Hit me.
I need help with Malik Thomas.
Why are you so okay? Hit me. Just rip the Band-Aid off. Tell me. I haven't caught up on Arkansas. It's on my to-do list right after this pod. So hit me.
Okay. I need to preface this with a lot because this isn't me trying to crap on him or say he's bad at basketball or anything like that, because he's very skilled. I love the shot. I love him more as an off-ball scorer. Really good scoring touch. Love the defensive work rate. But he just still feels super raw. And my concern is that when shots aren't falling, I don't know what he does.
How's the defense, Ben?
He's trying hard. He's playing hard. And I love that. But
development.
He still doesn't totally know what he's doing. He'll miss some rotations or tags. He's also more slender. So it's like there's not a tremendous amount of screen navigation or stuff like that. So he's a pest. He's working hard on that end of the floor, but I don't think he's anywhere close to being a defensive stopper or overly positive on that end.
Yeah, for bigger purposes, that Arkansas Houston game is going to be even more intriguing for him. Kingston Flemings and Darius Acuff will get some, but I'll be like, hey, I want to see what Malik can do against Emmanuel Sharp and Milos Uzain, who, gosh, that game's going to rock. But Malik's tough because I get it. I think he's more talented than 21st on our board. If he was a one and done, I could see him going 21st on our board. If I was a team, I'd be very excited to get him at 21. That would be a fun. You got him, and you're like, okay, well, let's just be patient with this one.
Yeah, but how many guys that teams are like really patient with actually end up panning out?
Good. That's a good question.
Like it
might get me on my wormhole dive again.
You have to play early. Like that's the only way you get better is by playing, not sitting at the end of the bench. And my worry with him is that he's going to be one of these, idea developmental type of guys that ends up getting stuck at the end of the bench for his first year or two, and we never see that growth because the game speed is still always really fast because he never got the minutes. So I don't know. He's super skilled.
My point of getting at is if a team got him in the 20s, they're probably going to have a better roster and loaded, and they're probably like, okay, Malik's not going to help us right away as a rookie. And you have to be patient you have to find guys you can be patient with because of the CBA now. Like if Minnesota got him, would you be excited for year 2 Malik?
No, he wouldn't play.
No, year 1 he wouldn't play, but
year 1
2,
he wouldn't play. Year 2 he wouldn't play.
He
won't play. Who do you get minutes over?
I don't know.
Exactly. Like he's not getting minutes.
Drive by Rob Dillingham.
But Malik Camp isn't a point guard. Like every time he has the ball in his hands, he dribbles a dozen times and takes 10 seconds to do anything.
So then is that a situation thing? Context.
There's same thing in high school.
Yeah, I think he's got to develop into a movement off ball focused guy. He needs to be well, Jordan Clarkson's not right because Jordan's developed a little wiggle in his later career. You know what I'm trying to say, though. He needs to be this movement guy that's just like, okay, you're going to do your damage off the ball, blah, blah, blah. So, like, I get where he's at right now. I get why he's going to be puzzling. I get why you did all that preface because Arkansas fans are going to just destroy you. And I love it. But, early in the year.
None of it to say he's a bad basketball player. He's not,
he might not be ready.
That's what I'm struggling with.
And I started the year out. I had Malik ahead of Darius, and it's trending right now of flipping.
It flipped for me.
Yeah,
I've been.
So then hit me with Darius. Why is it flipped for you? Like, why is Darius buying? What a transition there. That was great.
Always even better when you point it out.
Yeah, I have to do it.
I've been really impressed with his playmaking, just his feel, his decision making, and then the ability to flow into from a non-ball role into an off-ball role, and be a little more active off-ball. Like he's not cutting a ton or that kind of stuff or sprinting off screens. He's not doing that stuff. But like when he gives it up out of a drive, he's like relocating and then looking to kind of relocate on the perimeter as needed for spot up opportunities. The shot has been really solid. I think his decision-making across the board has been really encouraging. Some of the finishing stuff I'm not loving, where he's like awkwardly just taking off in an awkward zone and not getting all the way to the rim, kind of pulling up for these like intermediate floaters in an awkward range that are like long finger rolls or short floaters. So I'd love to see him figure that part out a little more consistently, but I was really concerned about how is he going to operate having to play without the ball at times. And I think that has looked so much better than what we saw in high school.
Yeah. One I'm warming up on for sure. He struggled shooting last night. I think he was like he had an ugly halftime box score. And I think the second half he was much, much better. I think he might've been 2 for 10 at one point. He finished 6 for 18.
Yeah.
But he had 17, 17, 5 and 10. Michael Brown on the other side again for Louisville had a tough shooting game too. So I think Darius, I think he's got one game where he had like less than 4 assists. So he's been 4 or 5 assists every game. Then he had the 10. He's been solid. He's been good. You want to just see now, like moving forward when the competition gets cooking a little bit, like we said, the Houston game, can he be efficient? Can he take care of the ball? And, the shooting numbers, I think will kind of level itself out too and be strong. So I think he's trending the right way. He's going to be the combine guy for me. I need to see if he's 6'3".
I would be surprised.
Maybe in shoes. I have a wear, and that's fine. We play games in shoes. I don't need everyone to be like, well, he's 6'2" without shoes. He's 6'3". So I just want to see, and the wingspan, like I just want to see that stuff because he looks like he's got good, solid, frame. I wish I
Yeah,
could
he's
see him in
strong.
person. I need no ceilings to be 3 years down the road so I can just go anywhere I want. But
Well, we did, just not recently.
now, yeah.
All right. And anything else on Pat, Christian Anderson, Kareem Lopez?
No. Or I'm taking too much time with this stuff. Kareem's just slower for me.
Yeah.
I've heard we're still kind of swimming in the same waters of the early season stuff. So I'm going to give Kareem a couple months before I'm harsh.
Okay. 26, Sean Abayev, wing from Cincinnati. 27, Cam Carr, wing from Baylor. 28, Caden Boozer, guard from Duke. 29, Todd Pettiford, guard from Auburn. 30, Ryan Conwell, guard wing from Louisville.
Hit me.
I hate this range.
Like Conwell. Everybody else, I'm scared.
I like Conwell a lot. I have Conwell in this range. I like Cam Carr a lot. I have him in this range. He's rapidly rising. The other three guys, I'm not there.
Who's under Boozer? Sorry.
It
got it on
is
my other
Tahad.
monitor. Yeah, so Tahad Pettiford, Sean Abayev, and Cam Boozer walk into a bar. That's like the best running joke we need to work with. Abayev scares me. A lot of people know ceilings like him. I'm just not there yet. Cameron Carr rocks. I really liked seeing him in person. Dude is skinny.
Yeah.
175 might be doing him some justice, but man, he plays hard. Man, he battles, and man, he can shoot. Oof,
Yeah.
Beautiful shot. I don't get Caden Boozer. I'm gonna be quiet on that one.
Yeah. So like my big issues with Abayev and Pettiford, their scoring efficiency and like decision making has been pretty abysmal this year. Both have effective field goal rates at like 45, which if you're going to be a shooter and a scorer, and it can't be that, because that's unplayable. Also, I like Todd Pettiford's assist rate only 16.1, turnover rate 16.3. So I get that he was really fun and intriguing last year. That he's also surrounded by a bunch of All-Americans and potential player of the year in Janiah Broom and a bunch of upperclassmen and seniors, and that's not the case this year. And his numbers are bad. It's just not good. So I don't get the sales pitch. If he had the numbers he had last year and was still in this range, okay. I might not totally agree, but I can at least get it a little bit now that we're seeing him take on a bulk of the offensive creation and see all of those numbers fall off a cliff. Not loving it.
Bad class to be struggling as a guard.
Yeah. And I think Caden Boozer's a really good basketball player. I think he's going to be a 3 to 4 year college player.
Yeah. I never thought
he should be starting for Duke too, but he got 10 minutes against Florida.
He should be starting, and I never thought he was going to be a one and done. I just don't think he's going to be a one and done. I'm not saying I don't like Caden Boozer. I just don't think he's a one and done. If he is a one and done, I will reevaluate. That happens every year where I'm like, this guy's not, and all of a sudden they declare, I'm like, all right, time to go watch all the film. And then, I make my evaluation, but like Caden right now, I'm like, well, he's not playing much. He's not producing much. And I don't think he's a one and done. So, he's also extremely young, just like his brother. So I think it would be wonders for him to go back for probably another year and really be the guy to run the show. Although he should right now.
Let's go back to Cam Carr real quick, because he's on a heater. Just shooting the crap out of it. Some fun defensive playmaking. Versatile scorer. Has some legit vertical bounce. How high could he realistically rise?
I mean, I think pretty high. He's a puzzling one in the fact that he's red hot from outside. He's like what we want Malik Thomas to be. Funny enough. His shot's gorgeous. It's gorgeous off the bounce too. Like he had a couple sequences. I was like, oh my gosh, that was just so smooth in person. And he's got that bounce, and he's got good size at 6'5". Obviously, the frame needs some work, but he's so quick, and he really has that wiggle. I just need a little bit more like versatility before I'm starting to be like lottery.
Yeah, that's kind of my concern, is that I think the handle's pretty rough. I don't totally trust him like attacking closeouts and getting into traffic. If he has like a straight line and a clear runway to the rim, he's really good and
Hmm.
fearless, draws a ton of fouls. But if he has to like string a couple counters or something, or avoid some help defenders digging at the ball, it gets a little messy. But it's tough for him to be playing much better basketball, especially after basically riding the pine in Tennessee for the last 2 years.
He's playing that way on the court. You watch him and you can see just that mentality of like, I got locked basically. I got locked in a dungeon for 2 years. This is unbelievable. I get to play basketball. And like, it's just more of like the frame. How much do you think it could fill out? And, he's got ridiculous, he's got vines for arms. So
Yeah.
he's going to blow the combine up when everyone sees his wings. I think it's like 7'2" ish.
Is he Cedric Howard?
But Coward had 30 pounds on him. That's the problem.
No,
is like
they're very different players.
No, you know what it is? It's he tries throwing his body around, and guys are like, "I have 50 pounds on you."
Yeah.
I don't care how tough you are. So, like, if Cameron Carr was doing that and he was 6'7", 190, it'd be like, well, it's different because he's 6'7", but he's 6'5" and needs probably a good 10 pounds to be like, okay, he's skinny.
Yeah.
He is thin. I'm telling, in person, I was like, oh my gosh, he's thin. But he also is that impressive to where it's like, I could see it because you need a bucket getter. I mean, that's what you want because there's still so much upside.
Let's move on to 31 through 40. We'll go 10 at a time here. Kind of speed through this a little bit more. At 31, JT Toppin, forward from Texas Tech. 32, Nicholas Hemenia, wing from Duke. 33, Braden Burries, guard from Arizona. 34, Magoon Gawath, center from San Diego State. 35, Paul McNeil, guard wing from North Carolina State. 36, Flory Badunga, center from Kansas. 37, Terrace Reed, center from UConn. 38, Carter Knox, wing from Arkansas. 39, Dwayne Aristode, wing from Arizona. And 40, Billy Richmond, guard wing from Arkansas.
Hit me with it, Metcalf.
Help
me help you.
This is messy.
This is always the range
of you either love them or you hate them.
Yep, there you go. I was just like, this is the last stand range. I like to call it because it's the last stand of like, I'm not giving up on my guy yet. I'm not giving up. And it's like, okay, you're either going up or down here for the next one pretty quick. I think Hemenia and Caden Boozer will be great next year.
Yeah.
At Duke.
Hemenia, I dropped a lot. Again, I really love how he plays. I don't think his game is there yet.
It's been the same thing every single scout I've talked to since the beginning of the year. I really like him. I don't think he's a one and done.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's always the first comment right after. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just he's not a one and done. And it's like, yep, I agree. So I think he's going to be Duke will be really good again next year because hopefully they should have those two guys back, but we'll see.
Magoon Gawath, I don't totally get it. The idea is fun.
To the Gooners out there, I'm sorry I failed you. I'm out. It's just not there yet.
Yeah. Paul McNeil stock is struggling. He's had a rough couple games, starting to fall for me, but it won't shock me if he's the second highest ranked North Carolina State prospect on the next board.
Yes.
Carter Knox still just frustrates the heck out of me. He was pretty good. I'm not quite done with the Louisville game yet, but he was a little more aggressive, a little more assertive. But it's like, all right, if we're getting that once every 4 games, like what are you just gonna go back for your junior year? Or I don't know what the ultimate vision with him is, but it's like, all right, if you just do a couple year or another year or 2 at Arkansas, are you Pella Larson in the pros? Or like I don't know what. I'm really struggling with the vision of him. Whereas like late last season, I was way more excited.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Arkansas fans. I promise I don't actually dislike your team.
Is one I was wanting a little bit more from, but it's also like I'm still hoping there's a little bit of like a light switch flips middle of the year because we do see that sometimes with like the sophomore year guys, but we'll see.
And just to win Arkansas fans back, I am in love with Billy Richmond. I would consider him at the end of the first right now.
I think he's got some good buzz. And I think it's a little loud when a guy's not putting up the box score production that you would think, and teams are intrigued. I think that's a loud endorsement. So I think Billy's a real name to keep an eye on, because I think teams are looking at him and they're like, this is a versatile Swiss Army knife that can help us without, having to be an offensive focal point. I think he's going to be a connector. There's finishers, there's, playmakers, and I think Billy Richmond's just a connector. He gets everything together.
And he makes really quick decisions, and just a terror on defense. The game before Louisville, I'm blanking on it, but he had a couple off-ball defensive sequences that were just incredible.
Those type of guys are what you need in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They can win you games.
41 through 50, Henry Vasar, center from North Carolina. At 42, Tucker DeVries, forward from Indiana. 43, Matt Abel, guard from North Carolina State. 44, Tyrone Riley, guard from San Francisco. 45, Dash Daniels, guard at Melbourne United. 46, Chase Ross, wing from Marquette. 47, Andrei Stojakovic, wing from Illinois. 48, Tomislav Ivicic, center at Illinois. 49, Alex Condon, forward center from Florida. 50, Boogie Fland, guard, Florida. Where do you want to
go? Wow. I'm really pumped to keep watching Stojakovic. I think the consistency, if it could stick, I think he could be a legit fun weapon or wild card in this class. Chase Ross, man, what a year he's having. I think he's too low. Tyrone Riley, it's been fun.
We'll see you next year.
We'll see you next year. It's been fun. Matt Abel, everybody get ready for the Abel stable. I wish you could just have a 5-game stretch of being consistent, and then I really, really could get dangerous on the World Wide Web. Tucker DeVries, see you next year. That's a joke. No, Tucker's just going to be a tough one. But
I'm out. I don't get it.
He'll have a bad game. You had a bad in-game experience, which I always am like, hey, just wait a little bit.
And it wasn't just him not shooting. It was the fact that he couldn't get inside the 3-point line. It's the fact that he couldn't get around a screen. The shot's gorgeous. He's a big dude. He'll get a cup of coffee, but I don't see it.
Vasar needs to go up.
And why do people hate him?
I think, is Thomas Houck going to be the only Florida guy drafted?
Ooh, I like that. And I don't like it. I like the take. Yeah.
That's how I feel about my board right now. I got no prisoners this year. I've watching all the film I can, getting caught up on everything.
Yeah, neither of these guys are in my top 60 anymore. So
which is tough because I love Boogie, but
process is good. End result, not so much.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's the story of a lot of basketball players. So, but hey, I always like Boogie nights. Condon, I'm good. That's all I got.
Okay. 51 through 60. Let's round this out.
Yeah.
Dalen Swain, wing from Texas at 51. Alex Caravan, 52. Wing from UConn at 53. Miles Bird, wing from San Diego State, 54. Josh Jefferson, forward from Iowa State, 55. Zay Harwell, guard from Houston, 56. Adrian Woolley, guard from Louisville, 57. Adai Mara, center from Michigan, 58. Otega Owe, wing from Kentucky, 59. Zuby Ejiofor, center from St. John's, 60. John Blackwell, guard from Wisconsin. Where do you want to go?
Blackwell just had a big game last night. I think he almost had 30 and like 10 or something. So that was fun because I do like some of his flashes. I think he could be a second round gold find. He's pretty nasty defensively. I wasn't expecting.
I wish he didn't live in the mid range as much as he does.
Yeah,
like that's fine if you're like 6'7" plus, but at 6'4", it's a little tougher.
Yep.
Johnny Davis PTSD.
Pissed off that everyone just No love for Zuby. Pretty pissed off. One of my favorite guys I saw at Players Era.
Well, sell me on him.
He's just he's like how there's just impactful plays all the time. You always feel when he's on the court, he's always doing something. I saw him set a screen, was wide open for the biggest dunk ever, didn't get a pass. I'm not going to name the guard that didn't throw it or see it. And
It's a long
then,
list of possibilities.
yeah, shot, exactly, spilled suspension. Shot goes up, and he just like manhandles his way to get in position, attacks offensive glass, puts it back up. And I was just like, didn't know sulk of like, how did you not hit me? It was just boom. And there's a couple gorgeous playmaking reads every time I'm watching him. He's going to be someone that is drafted later than he should, and it's going to be a great find for a team. And I wouldn't shock me if a playoff team just takes him because they're like rotation. Absolutely love it. And he's tough. He's got a good frame, good muscle. That's all. Harwell, not a one and done in my opinion. He is going to be really good.
Yeah.
But he might like in person, I was like, this kid's going to be really, really good. It's not this year, but he's going to be really, really good.
Yeah, the offense hasn't seemed to click for him yet, but yeah. I bet the defense, and they trust him on that end of the floor too, where it shows a lot.
He's all in. You could just tell he's in, and he's got good frame, and he can shoot. He's gonna be good. I can't figure out Josh Jefferson for the life of me. I love Dylan Swain getting some love at 51, but
yeah,
wondering if he'll go up. I can't figure out Josh Jefferson. Metcalf can't figure it out.
He's fun, and he'll either be like a really good backup or just make millions of dollars overseas.
Yeah, he's either going to be with FC Barcelona and win like 4 EuroLeague titles.
Yeah.
Or have to go to like the absolute perfect team.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Nuggets in the second round or the Warriors. Oh, the Warriors are going to take him 100% in the second round. Just like in person, he has that YMCA hustler game, like frame.
Yeah.
And then just throws dimes everywhere. And you're like, oh my gosh, okay. Daimara, shout out.
Yeah.
Run from it, dread it. Destiny arrives.
I have him a lot higher than this.
I moved them up higher than this too, I think.
I think he's been awesome. It'd be nice if he could catch anything below his shoulders. That'd be helpful. But
people send the house at him to try to mess him up, and he is so good with the vision.
Yeah, his passing is insane.
Really good. And you know, I asked the scout, and I was like, hey, and this was a while ago. This was before Players Era. I was like, hey, Mara, been great to start the year. And the feedback I got, which is always what I need to remind everyone, is it's not just the college. It's the foundation of these scouts have been keeping eyes on these guys for years. So Mara was fantastic overseas. Yes, UCLA was just, you know, a bad fit. But, you know, one of my favorite scouting pieces I ever got told was 1 year doesn't tell the story. And that's the thing with Mara. Like, you see him in Michigan, he's been great. Great vision. He's tough. He's playing hard. At that size, with that playmaking, someone's going to say yes.
And if Dusty May just all of a sudden becomes the big man whisperer and is the number one transfer target for all bigs, love that. Selfishly,
I mean, why would you not go play for Dusty May? I'm not even saying a big. Like, you should go play for Dusty May. Anyone should.
Him and that staff are doing a heck of a job.
Nagoon Guas.
They wanted him.
They wanted him. But that's the thing. I would go to Michigan. Go play for Dusty. Like, he's really showcasing everyone's abilities. So yeah. I don't know. Anyone else?
Was there anyone who didn't make your list that you were, or from your big board that didn't make it that you were?
Oh, like half my board.
Top ones for me are Perez Johnson, Milo Suzan, Sergio De La Real, London Jemison starting to turn it on. Juke Harris. I don't know what else he needs to do.
Ibuka Corey for me, Juke Harris, Mario Saint Superi. What else do I have here? I think Milos Uzan was fantastic. I'm back in, folks. It was a great experience. Dylan Mitchell and Emmanuel Sharp, I think, also need to get back in. I know they're older guys and familiar names for draft fans, but they need to get back in a conversation. So a lot of names making some noise. Tyler Tanner's kind of sneaking up.
Yeah.
Undersized guard at Vanderbilt, but man, he can play. And Keaton Wagler. Trending. So yeah, it's like I said, it's early. We got a lot of time to go. We got a very talented class, but there's going to be a lot of names making some big movement. And then I'm about to get caught up on the international class, so going to check out a lot of those guys, and those are always fun weeks.
Yeah, and just a couple other names who I think are trending in that direction. For the next board or next two, it won't shock me if Braden Smith sneaks his way in there. The kid he can just play. Like, yeah, he's small, don't care. He can play. Well, I had a couple other David Merkovich from Illinois. Derek Dixon just had a really nice game with the UNC, and I know there are at least a handful of NBA people who really liked him coming into the year. And then I had one more, and it escaped me. So great podcasting. Nope, that's it. Okay. Well, you know what that means. It's green room time, baby.
Green room, baby.
Most exclusive club in the basketball world. No more than 14 get in. It is not, I repeat, it is not our lottery rankings. These are based on vibes, upside, potential, vibes. Once you're in, you can be booted. Easiest way to get booted, aside from playing like crap, is to get hurt. So Darren Peterson, last episode, we got him out of there because we can't have you hobbling around the green room. Currently in there, Koa Pete, Caleb Wilson, LeBaron Philon. Wild green room as of early December. In line, Cam Boozer, AJ DeBonsa, Michael Brown, Bennett Sturts, Isaiah Evans, Hans Steinbeck, Neo Avdilas, Adai Mara, Kingston Flemings. Does anyone need to get booted from the green room?
No, I'm going to say no right now.
Okay.
Can't do it.
Okay. He's hanging on by a thread.
Who, Caleb? No, I'm kidding. Koa.
Well, I don't know if you saw his layup numbers.
Yeah, I did. Koa's got too much street cred right now.
Yeah.
Beating Florida, beating UConn. He's going to lean on that for a little bit. So he's okay.
Okay.
He's got he knows too many of the bouncers. They know him. They're like, hey, that's Koa Pete.
The night's still young, you know.
Night's still young.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone we need to boot from line. So we have Cam Boozer, AJ DeBonsa, Michael Brown, Bennett Sturts, Isaiah Evans, Hans Steinbeck, Neo, Mara, Flemings. I think Neo's got to get out of line.
I think Neo's got to get out of line. I actually think two people need to get out of line.
Okay. Who's the second?
Bennett? I think Sturts. Yeah. It's got to go. Here's my thing with the green room. If you ever read off who's in line and I have a quick reaction that's usually the one. And it's Sturts. I was like, oh.
It was bad. The Michigan State wasn't good.
Neo hasn't lived up to Neo's going to Neo got a text from his buddy that there's some new club around the corner and like, hey, let's try this one out first. So he's he's inconsistent with staying in line. So he's gonna go somewhere else to see if he can get in right away. Sturts is like, hey, I'm playing at Iowa. We can usually go to a bar and get like $1 beers. So
yeah, you can.
He's looking for dive bars. He's like, I'm not a club guy.
He's a dive bar guy.
Yeah, dive bar guy.
Okay. I'm gonna put Thomas Houck in line.
Oh, that's a good one, Metcalf. That's a good one.
Who do you want to put in line?
Oh, I should have said on the big board. Do we have to fight someone from Rez Johnson?
Okay. Maybe. I don't
know. For line, I'm gonna put. Let's do it. We'll put Cameron Carr.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Yeah, guy's red hot. How can we not have him in line?
Yeah,
an absolute heater.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Can I cheat and throw one more in line?
Yeah, we can do it. We should make a rule if we remove more than one, we can make up for that.
I'm gonna put Braylon Mullins in line.
I was gonna say Braylon, so that's
Okay.
good. All right, that's
All
a
right, there we
good
go.
line. It's a good
It's a
line.
very good line. Line looks good.
Very good.
Now the trouble is, who are we putting in?
That's the problem. Is when you were reading off, I got after certs. I was like, wait, there's a lot of guys I could put in.
I think Cameron Carr is high on that list. I think Thomas Houck is high on that list. I think Kingston Flemings is high on that list. I think Cam Boozer is high on that list.
Now here, I want to let's just talk this out with everyone because everyone gets really concerned with the green room.
I know
procedure, and we get a lot of comments on this. You know, the first glance is people be like, "Hey, well, Hans has got to go in. He just went 11 for 12." But here's the thing: Hans has been hurt, so I don't think we could be like, "Hey, you're healthy."
One game back doesn't automatically.
Yeah, you got to prove it. Yeah, exactly. So
if someone drops 100, I'll put him in.
I think that's a good rule. But like if Darren comes back and has 30, I'm not going to be like Darren's back in right away. I think no, you got to play for a little bit.
Yeah, like a 30 piece from him against Towson isn't going to move me.
Yeah, because what if all of a sudden he sits out the next game and be like, well, then you're just cheating the green room.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So this is good. So Hans has to stay in line. He's moving up in line, but he's, someone went to the bathroom, came back in line. That probably is Isaiah Evans. Who else? I think Kingston's really. What else do we need from Cam to get in? What do we need from AJ to get in?
What do we need from Cam to get in? I know you hate Cam Boozer, but
no, I think if Cam's not going to get in now, I don't know what else we need from him. But Kingston, man, Hansel, so hot. Hansel, I'll say Cam.
Okay.
Well, come on.
No,
fight a little bit.
No, he had two massive back-to-back games against ranked opponents in Arkansas and Florida.
We need to put 2 in.
No, we don't.
Okay, 1.
Yeah.
So then if Cameron Carr is not, but that's the thing. Boozer just had 2 big-time wins. If he's not in now, when is he in?
Well, probably when he wins Player of the Year, or they win the ACC, or they go on a 20-game win streak, or
But what's the highest with the vibes?
I still feel like the vibes aren't great.
The vibes aren't that great. For Duke fans, they're fantastic, but I do feel like the vibes aren't that great. So who has the highest vibe meter?
Is it Carr?
Is it Cam Carr?
The fact that
the green room's unpredictable. Let's put Cam Carr in, and Boozer's out.
Because odds are Cam Carr probably not going to be there all night.
Yeah, but I mean,
he could be.
He's getting
a blast in there.
The streets are saying Cam Carr's here.
They're just
you guys got Cam Carr?
Shots everywhere.
Yeah. Please drink responsibly.
He always.
That's a good one. It feels right. I don't like when the green room's like, oh, it's chalk. No, it's wild. It's fun. It's vibes.
No, and some people have different expectations. So if Cam and AJ are just strolling up automatically assuming they're going to get in, it's like, no, you got to earn it.
He's had 1 game this year. He hasn't had 20 points, and he had 17. So he's averaging 23 and 5 on 57-50.
Yeah,
77.
No, I feel good. Okay,
it's a vibe. Absolute heater. We got to go. See, come on.
The green room.
We got to be. Yeah, the green room, baby.
Again, I know I said this last episode, but if you told me December 4th we'd have Koa Pete, Caleb Wilson, LeBaron Philon, and Cam Carr,
it's electric
in the green room. It's a fun group, but not what I would have expected.
I can't wait to post the graphic tomorrow. People will go like, what? People that don't know the green room. What is this? Yeah, you don't know about the green room.
They'll learn.
They'll learn. This is great.
All right. We'll be back next week. Make sure to check out the site, NoCeilingsNBA.com, No Ceilings YouTube, Locked On NBA Draft with No Ceilings, the Ground Floor podcast. We got a ton of content everywhere. You can find it all on our socials. We'll be back next week. Till then, he is Tyler Rucker. You can follow him at Tyler_Rucker. I'm Tyler Metcalf. You can follow me at Team Metcalf. Thanks for listening. Rate, review, subscribe, 5 stars, all that good stuff. Until next time, see ya.